¿Qué tal? Soy Aarón Cortés de Me Hace Ruido, en redes me encuentran como Saint y en esta ocasión nos acompañan Rocky y Ross Lynch, los dos integrantes de The Driver Era, quienes están aquí para contarnos más detalles detrás de su segundo álbum, Girlfriend, ya disponible en plataformas digitales. Antes de comenzar los invito a suscribirse a nuestro canal para más entrevistas y a seguirnos en redes sociales para más contenido de música. Y ahora sí, comenzamos. I had the chance to listen to the full record this week, and let me tell you, it's awesome. And I also feel like a little bit of pressure to do this interview because you've been doing interview lots of times. And for example, for the X record, you've been talking about this record for a long period of time. But the interviews that are over there, just like out, talking about Girlfriend, are not that much about the full record. You know, it's just about Heaven Angel or just few singles. But this is one of the first interviews where the full record is gonna be out when it is come out too. And I feel this record changed a lot from the past. I feel like funky vibes, more mature sound, lots of stuff. So first of all, what can you tell us about this new journey in between the records, between X and Girlfriend for your sound?
I think it just evolves naturally.
Yeah.
Depending on what we're experiencing in our world. When we were doing X, we were just really into this kind of punk sound, which was totally reflective of our lives at the time. We were both single and like going to the club and stuff, and just kind of like in a more edgy atmosphere. Like, I don't know.
Wow. I feel like that also is like maybe a little bit the added to that is kind of right where we were in our life age wise as well, where we're like, you still have like this super young adult, like you're like figuring things out still kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And even though you kind of always are, you know, figuring things out, right at that age, you're kind of still like, you know, maybe I don't know, you kind of just maybe got a car a couple of years ago or something.
Yeah.
You just had moved out from the parents like a couple of years ago. Like so like in that realm, you're kind of just like still got a little bit of like that angst.
Yeah, and then there's this thing. Oh, sorry, I interrupt you. Continue.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, and then now we're like shacked up, and we're calling our album Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh my dear, could you look any better? Come a long way from heaven.
There's also this particular journey between albums and songs, because I think it's Faith, the song you had like most old, maybe 2017, and people were like, you were teasing it to the fans, and then it changed the sound, and it feels so good to this new record. But you also put out A Kiss and Forever Always in 2019, October, I guess, November. And then after that, you also released some remixes from X. So it was like a mix of sounds. And at the end, you kind of start making the new album when you were making the first album. So how did that work? Separating just changing those songs for different albums at the same time?
Honestly, it all kind of happens randomly. Fade. What happened with Fade is Ross. At one point in time, you know, came across our whatever year we had of that Bounce of Fade, and he was playing it in his car, and we were just like, oh, like this, yeah, like heck yeah, Fade. And so
I pretty much played that song actually in my car for myself.
Yeah.
From the time we made it up until its release on like a regular schedule. Like I'm saying like once every few months.
Okay.
I would just play it. But for that whole time, so for all those years, I was like, woo!
So
this needs to be out.
Somehow
it was hilarious.
He like posted it on his Instagram, and someone that worked, our marketing manager at BMG was like, yo, we got to put that out. Like, you know, and so then we're like, all right, let's put it out. We end up putting it out.
You make it alright. Lost boy for life.
So there's little things that like that kind of happen, which I didn't even know that A Kiss and Forever Always came out before the remixes. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, I even checked it on Spotify, and that's true. The remixes came out in 2020. So yeah.
Wow. So I mean, yeah,
also,
like
while you've been touring the X record at the start of last year, you were playing Heart of Mine and songs like are now coming out on this new record. You were teasing it like for a long period of time. So
Heart of Mine, we the only time we ended up playing that was right before COVID hit, and we were doing a show.
Yeah, and it leaked on YouTube, and it was like kind of a full version live of that song too.
Yeah, thanks. We played a college show, and that's where we played that song. And that right after we did that show, our tour got canceled and COVID hit. So that was like we were gearing up to go on that run, and that's so, you know, we were preparing to play Heart of Mine, but that's right when everything got canceled.
Lost if I'm hopeless, still yet I know this. I will be calling all the time.
And also, I saw an interview where you said that you are now starting to recording new songs for a new record, and this hasn't even come out yet. I mean, when people see this, it's gonna be the same day as Girlfriend release, so it's gonna be out. But you are now working on new music that you said that it will come out at the end of this year too. So it's kind of the same thing that happened with X and A Kiss and stuff. So you are now working on a new record. What can you tell us about making like two records at the same time? Kind of, you know.
Yeah. It's just kind of natural for us, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like that's just what we do. So like even with the record out, it's like we're just hanging out like this, and we're like, "What do you want to do, bro?" We're like, "Let's go in the studio."
Another reason why that happens is because we just have a lot of songs, and we have a lot of ideas, and just there's a lot that we're always we're suckers for a fresh start. Like there's nothing better than a new a newly created idea.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's usually a song. And we're suckers for that, for sure.
I heard you're a liar, telephone wire, trying to decipher, maybe pariah, maybe I like you, maybe alright, but she like Mariah.
And I also feel that this generation of people, fans, young peoples are always craving for new music, because even if you release the new single, they are like, when's the new album come out? And it's just like today they put a song out. So but they are expecting for more and more. So I feel like you are constantly present with that. Like last year, you were always teasing with new singles, and then this year, the new album is coming out. And even if half of the record was kind of out last year, these new songs and all together, like different mixing, like the song styles and stuff, it kind of makes way different than it was before their release. And I feel like fans are kind of happy with that constant presence on social media and releasing with you guys.
Yeah. I mean, that also was before we decided to make put all these songs on an album and, you know, make it Girlfriend. The initial idea was to release a song like every month for a second. And that was kind of right around when, you know, COVID was starting to happen and stuff. And it, like a lot of things, you know, people just started kind of taking a break and just, you know, shifting down. yeah, and you know, we just kind of took some time there.
Yeah, but there, you know what? When COVID hit, it just there wasn't a lot of inspiration in the air.
Yeah,
It's like the world was dead, so
Yeah.
we just wanted to like meditate and read, I guess.
yeah,
But I want to say something earlier. What you said earlier, where you're talking about how everyone always needs more music, because that's something I'm always telling all my musician friends. So I'm like, the world always needs more good music.
Is it so? I keep going places, I'm too stoned.
I'm always seeing you guys between like lists and posts and videos on TikTok and stuff about underrated projects, and I feel like there are always these comments about the driver era being underrated, but I also feel like there's this line between like, oh, he's an actor but he also makes good music, you know, like people don't always expect that. And I feel these particular generations of actors kind of know how to handle both things well, like, you know, Wallows and like the Stranger Things people, and now you guys. So what do you think this generation particularly knows how to handle both projects at the same time without getting stuck in just one, like, oh, he's an actor, you know?
You know what I feel about that is that also has been happening for some time. It's just social media wasn't around, so it's not as like noticeable. But and I didn't know this, but Elvis is in like fucking like 15 or 20 movies or some shit. Yeah. And I'm like, what? Because we went to Graceland like a couple years back, and whatever, they like have tons of his movies just kind of playing there and stuff.
He was like a star.
Yeah, so you know,
like
he's
beyond belief.
He's flown both ways. You got Prince doing the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Well, the Beatles did that too.
What up?
The Beatles did that too on their movie.
Oh, the Beatles.
Yeah, the Beatles, yeah. So it's like a very also I feel like because everyone lives with a camera now too, like it's now more than ever that you have everyone participating in front of a camera.
Yeah.
So you know, back in the day, like people might get shyer on the camera or whatever. I guess people still get shyer on the camera, but it's so like accessible.
Yeah, it's like almost normal kind of.
That it kind of makes sense that like more people are wanting to be. Like, there's so many people like that really want to be in like an actor and stuff. Obviously, we live in LA, so you see a lot of that. And
I think also a lot of people love music and a lot of people love movies and TV shows. And so I think it's easy to want to participate in that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
And it's honestly so cool that you can make a living doing it. Like it's a wonderful life.
Yeah. It's extremely blessed to be able to hang out in LA and make music.
Yeah.
When I feel like it.
Yeah. Now, also, now that I mentioned Wallows and stuff, there's a story you kind of put out there before the release of Heaven Angel, I guess it was, where you said like people are always asking you to collaborate with Wallows, but there was just like this kind of collaboration in before that Euro said that it was between Rocky and Braden in that show Wedding Span, where you kind of sing that cover of I Want It That Way. So people now, it's now a thing, and it became kind of viral, and it was also on TikTok, and it's way years before the projects. So yeah, what can you tell us about it? Are you guys still friends, or are it's something like just,
you know that, right, Ross?
It got out. It's on
been
TikTok.
Out. Yeah, it's just been like on YouTube, but
no. He said it's on TikTok.
Yeah, it kind of came back again, made a comeback.
I think that shit is so funny.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's Riker too, bro. Yeah. You guys are like getting it with your little headsets.
Yeah. No,
so
honestly, we don't talk to the Wallows guys too much, but we've seen them around in LA, and they work with actually no they don't. But literally that's like kind of all that's like the extent of our like communications that we've had. But it's always funny every time we see them. It's always like, oh shit, wedding band, like.
They're really nice guys.
Yeah.
Every time I've seen them, they've always been like.
But honestly, we'd love to collab with them. That'd be sick. I like a lot of their songs. They seem like chill dudes. You know, it's like, heck yeah, like a collab or even like, you know, like it's probably a tour at some point, like or like a festival that we'll be playing with them, like all that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But they're good guys. They're dope.
So that was the last question. Thank you so much for your time. And this record is really, really good. So I hope it blew up in the whole world.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yo, thank you.
Have a nice day.
Yo,
thank you.
You too. Peace out.